Friends, again I welcome you back with my new video, and this video is of class 12th from the book Flamingo, and I'm going to explain you the chapter Indigo by Louis Fisher. Now first of all, I'm going to talk you about the author, that is Louis Fisher. Early life of Louis Fisher, who was a son of a fish paddler, was born in Philadelphia on 29th February 1896. After studying at the Philadelphia School of Pedagogy from 1914 to 1916, he became a school teacher in year 1917. Fisher joined the that is the region, a military unit based in Palestine. On his return to the United States, Fisher took up work at a new agencies in New York City and met Bertha, that is the Marcosa Mark 1890 till 1977. In 1921, when Bertha went to work in Berlin, Fisher joined her a few months later and began contributing to the New York Evening passed as a European correspondent. The following years, he moved to Moscow and married Bertha. In 1923, their first son George was born, followed by Victor a year later. Fisher began working for the nation while in the Soviet Union. Fisher published several books including Oil Imperialism, The International Struggle for the Petroleum in the year 1926, and the Soviets in the World Affairs 1930. Introduction of the lesson. In the chapter Indigo, the author describes the struggle of Gandhiji for the poor peasants of Champaran, who had to share their crops with the British planters. This made their life miserable as they were forced to grow indigo according to an agreement. Theme of the story. The story is based on the interview taken by Louis Fisher of Mahatma Gandhi. In order to write on him, he had visited him in 1942 at his ashram Sevagram, where he was told about the Indigo's movement started by Gandhiji. The story revolves around the struggle of Gandhiji and after prominent leaders in order to safeguard and sharecroppers from the atrocities of landlord. Now students, let's begin with the important characters in the chapter Indigo. The very important character is Rajkumar Shukla. He is a peasant in Champaran and is troubled by the sharecropping system. He was literate but resolute. He never left Gandhi's side until he agreed to visit Champaran. Gandhiji, he visited Champaran on the request of Rajkumar Shukla. He spent almost a year of his life there. During his stay there, he removed the problems of sharecropping, contributed in the Indian independence struggle, and also taught them self-reliance. Edward Gate. He was lieutenant governor of the province. He ordered the case against Gandhiji. Later, as a result of his meetings with Gandhiji, an antiquity commission was set up to find out the problems. Rajendra Prasad, he was a lawyer who later became the president of Indian National Congress and also of India. C.F. Andrews. He was an English pacifist and devoted follower of Gandhiji. He was ready to stay at Champaran and help Gandhiji, but Gandhiji opposed it. Summary. Louis Fisher met Gandhiji in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram. Gandhiji told him that how he initiated the departure of the British from India. He recalled that it in 1917, at the request of Rajkumar Shukla, a sharecropper from the Champaran, he visited the place. Gandhiji had gone to Lucknow to attend the annual meeting of Indian National Congress in the year 1916. Shukla told him that he had come from Champaran to seek his help in order to safeguard the interest of sharecroppers. Gandhiji told him that he was busy, so Shukla accompanied him to various places till the consented of the visit of Champaran. His firm decision impressed Gandhiji and he promised him that he would visit Calcutta at the particular date and then Shukla could come and take him along to Champaran. Shukla met him at Calcutta and finally they took a train to Patna. Gandhi went to lawyer Rajendra Prasad's house and they waited for him. In order to grab complete knowledge of the situation, he reached Muzaffarpur on 15th April 1917. He was welcomed by Professor J. B. Kriplani and his students. Gandhiji was surprised to see the immense support for an advocate of home rule like him. He also met some lawyers who were already handling cases of sharecroppers. As per the contract, 15% of the peasants' landholding was to the reserved for cultivations of indigo, the crop of which was given to the landlord as rent. The system was very oppressive. Gandhi wanted to help the sharecroppers, so he visited the British Landlord Association, but he was not given any information because he was an outsider. He then went to the commissioner of Trihat division who threatened Gandhi and asked him to leave Trihat. Instead of returning, he went to Motihari. Here he started gathering complete information about the indigo contract. He was accompanied by many lawyers. One day, as he was on his way to meet the peasants who was maltreated by the indigo planters, he was stopped by the police superintendent's messenger who served him a notice asking him to leave. Gandhi received the notice but disobeyed the order. The case was filed against him. Many lawyers came to advise him, but when he stressed, they all joined his struggle and even consented to go to jail in order to help the poor peasant. On the day of trial, a large crowd gathered near the court and it became impossible to handle them. Gandhi helped the officers to control the crowd. Gandhi gave his statement that he was not a lawbreaker but the disobeyed of the so that he could help the peasants. He was granted bail and later on the case against him was dropped. Gandhi and his associate started gathering all sorts of information related to the indigo contract and his misuse. Later, a commission was set up to look into the matter. After the inquiry was conducted, the planters were found guilty and were asked to pay back the peasants, and finally, expecting refusal, they offered to pay only 25% of the amount. Gandhiji accepted. He opened 6 schools in Champaran villages, and volunteers like Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parekh, and his son Devdas taught them. Kasturba Bai, the wife of Gandhi, used to teach personal hygiene. Later on, with the help of a volunteer doctor, he provided medical facilities to the natives of Champaran, thus making their life a bit better. A peacemaker, Andrews, wanted to volunteer at Champaran ashram. But Gandhiji refused as he wanted Indians to learn the lesson of self reliance so that they would not depend on others. Gandhiji told the writer that it was Champaran's incident that made him think that he did not need the Britishers' advice while he was in his own country. Now, let's begin with the main points of the chapter. Gandhiji wants to attend December 1916 annual convention of Indian National Congress in Lucknow. During the proceedings, a peasant from Champaran named Rajkumar Shukla met him. Under an ancient arrangement, Champaran peasants were sharecroppers. Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. He was illiterate but resolute. He didn't leave Gandhiji until he agreed to visit Champaran. Gandhiji was to be in Calcutta on the certain date. Shukla received him from there and then they boarded the train to Patna. Shukla first visit took Gandhiji to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, who later became the president of Indian National Congress of India. Rajendra Prasad was out of town and his servant didn't allow Gandhiji to draw his water from the well and thinking him to be an untouchable. Gandhiji first decided to go to Muzaffarpur. He was received by Professor J. B. Kriplani of Arts College at the railway station. Gandhiji stayed at the house of Professor Malkani for 2 days. It was an extraordinary thing for Professor Malkani to harbor Gandhiji because in smaller localities people were afraid to show sympathy for the advocates for their home rules. As soon as Gandhiji reached Champaran, people went to see him. The lawyers told Gandhiji that they represent peasants group in the court and also reported the size of their fee and the fees also. After that, Gandhiji chided the lawyers for collecting such a big fee and told them not use taking their cases to the law courts. The chief commercial crop in Champaran was indigo. The landlords compelled all tenants to plant that is the 3/20th or 15% of the holdings with indigo and surrender the entire indigo harvest as the rent. After that, meanwhile, Germany developed synthetic indigo. The landlords asked the peasants to pay them compensation for being released from the 15% agreement. Later, when the peasants came to know about the synthetic indigo, they wanted their money back. Gandhiji reached Champaran at this stage. Gandhiji went to the secretary of the British Landlords Association and then to the British official commissioner of Trihat division. None of them helped Gandhiji, insisted he was asked to leave Trihat. But Gandhiji insists instead of leaving Trihat went to Motihari, that is on 21st. There again he got an official notice to quit Champaran. Gandhiji signed a receipt for the order, but he wrote on the back that he would disobey the order. In consequences, he got summons to appear in the court. Gandhiji informed all about it, and the next morning all the people gathered in the court premises. The officials felt powerless without Gandhiji's cooperation. Gandhiji helped them to regulate the crowd, but he had given them proof that their might could be questioned. Gandhiji told the court that he was caught in a conflict of duties. On the one hand, he didn't want to set a bad example as a lawbreaker, and on the other hand, he wanted to do national and humanitarian service. When the court was reconverted, the judge said that he would deliver the judgment several days later, and meanwhile he allowed Gandhiji to be at liberty. Later, the Lieutenant Governor ordered the case to be dropped against him, and it proved to be the first victory of civil disobedience in modern India. In June, Gandhiji was summoned by Sir Edward Gate. They had for the first meeting of their party into it. After that, primary schools were opened in 6 villages. Kasturba Bai taught the ashram's rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitation. Health conditions were also miserable. 3 medicines were available: castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment. Gandhiji's politics was intertwined with the practical day-to-day problems of the millions. He was not a loyalty to abstractions, that is, his loyalty to living human being. Gandhiji's lawyer's friend wanted Charles Freer Andrew, who was Gandhiji's devoted follower, to stay in Champaran and help them, but Gandhiji was vehemently opposed, and he told them to rely on themselves instead of seeking the prop in the with Mr. Andrews. So students, here we finishes with the chapter Indigo. Hope the video is clear. So thank you for watching my video. Stay safe, stay healthy.